And we're off on a Tuesday. Oh, and I can't wait to talk about the Tuesdays. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Nudelberg Daily Huddle. We're excited to be with you guys for another day. Oh, thanks for the graphic, Shay. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk about the ridiculousness that people are talking about there. But I want to talk about yesterday, and I want to give a shout out to Chris White because the power of social media and what's happening. Yesterday, I said I was going to City, right? Christian White says in the huddle, oh, I'm going to be at City Day and be looking for whatever. I go do my visit in Hollywood. Great stuff going on there. We're creating great initiatives, great work. Loved absolutely what we were doing. But I texted Chris and I said, hey, which one are you going to? He said, I'm going to go to the one by the house. I said, why don't you come to this one? Bigger one, right? It's, it's got more, it's got a bigger selection. It's brand new. I was there, but I wasn't going to be there when he came. So I said, I'll set you up with somebody to take care of you. So I set him up with an appointment with one of the sales associates there. They were off and running. And I saw that Christy talked about it today on LinkedIn. Apparently it went well. And Chris said he'll be back for more because his wife is ready for more. So I love it.
I am knee deep in the City experience. Got my first tranche delivered to the new place. More coming first week of March. That will be moving me. City moves, which is pretty amazing. So a whole bunch of stuff happening in the city.
I just love the way it happens and the way it connects. Like if I don't mention that I'm going to City, then I don't talk to Chris about it. Then I'm not able to get him to that one. And that's really just the way it happens. If you let people know what you're doing, it provides opportunity for them to chime in.
One of the things in the early stages of social media, when I would go to New York or Cleveland or Chicago, I'd say, hey, peeps, I'm in Chicago.
Right.
Marcy Scheinbaum, who's in here, I landed in Detroit. She picked me up at the airport. She goes, stay still. I'm coming to get you, man. So you just never know. And then she took me to a really cool part of town. So you just don't know. Putting it out there is really part of what we talk about. So Henry Paisano, thank you, my friend. I am thrilled to be back. So it's going to be awesome for me.
You're a couple weeks in counting before it's full time in Lauderdale.
Yeah, March is my full time. That's when it happens, man. It's all good.
Boom. Love it. So as Phil Boatman says, the power of communication, exactly correct. That's what the tools are for.
I told him we were thinking of him when we were looking at the horses. We all said Kentucky. Right. So I was like, you make those connections, man. Really, really cool stuff. Are you going to get into the two thing?
Yeah, let's go to wake up music, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the ridiculous.
Very excited about
Tuesday. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
So it is officially Tuesday, as in TWOS day, because it is 2/22/22. And if you are into astrology or you are into any of the aligning of the stars, today's a big day for you because apparently there's a portal opening. There is an energy portal opening, and the angel of 222 is coming through the portal and will be able to grant you all of your desires today.
And you can actually, once you get through the portal, you can meet Howie in his new house in the metaverse. So he's already camped out at his house.
Look, I believe in the power of the universe. I believe that there is something bigger than us. But do I believe that there's a portal opening today because of the alignment of numbers? I'm not so sure about that. But I do love some of the philosophy that it's talking about behind this, and I want to get to where it says, so the number, so the 2, the date itself is considered an angel number in numerology, or a number bearing a particular energy or universal message. In this case, the meaning of the date 2/22/22 is about connections and coming together, not just in one pairs, but among larger groups and communities as well. So I do like that it's this universal message of all of these twos, these pairs coming together, building the community. But make sure you're on the lookout for the portal for anybody who's interested in seeing.
I like that you made it somewhat serious, because fundamentally, or the psychology behind it, I'm all in.
Right.
It takes 2 to tango. So, everything good happens when you don't eat alone,
There's power in numbers. We've talked about the power of 3 before. So I'm not discounting the philosophy or the power of 2s. I'm just saying, I don't know that there's a portal opening today.
When I hear portal opening, I think of Ghostbusters, it's coming through this.
That's where you lose me, is when you start talking about the portal that's opening and the angel coming through it. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna.
I don't know if, I think Jake's probably gonna go to the casino and just bet it all on 2. So.
I'm telling you, I'm sure Hard Rock is pushing that very hard, because if there is a day that's gonna manifest all of your dreams, get to the Hard Rock, because they'll make it happen for you.
So you spoke about your city visit, but you did not share the picture of your in-store visit. So it was
great. And part of City Furniture's philosophy is their lean mentality of get to the Gemba, which in Toyota language and Japanese culture, that means go where the work is done. And pictured on the left is Jen Barco, who we've done a lot of work with. I can't with the comments. Tony had a great comment about the portal opening and mixing 2 cups of coffee with 2 tacos on Tuesday.
Well, it's Taco Tuesday, so it's so appropriate.
It's hilarious. But so it was great to be on site with her. It was great for me to not just be in a coaching environment with her, but get to really evaluate what she's doing with her people, how her people are responding, what was happening in the store. We got to create some new ideas and test them on the spot right then and there. It was really just a fantastic experience. So shout out to the whole city team for being great people.
And I just want to share the power of actually being in the game. You can talk about shit on the sidelines all day long.
Right.
You got to get in the game. There's a pulse. There's something that happened at game time when people walked in. Here's the point of sale. What are we doing? So those plays, you can talk about them, but there's nothing like running them. And you being in store was brilliant. So, good for you. I should take a visit on the other side. I mean, I went as a customer, which was, really a wonderful thing, but pretty cool. So good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Christy. I appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to be in person, be with the team, and get to learn and do more. And we're doing great things there, and it's a lot of fun. So
can I give myself a plug?
Yeah, please do.
So yesterday,
about your book.
Yes, I was able to film video another session of Tell Me Something Good, and I had my friend Ken Kennerly, who's the executive director of the Honda Classic. And for those who don't know what happens on Friday at the Honda Classic, it is the most exciting B2B day ever. It is a gigantic business event that people go, drink, eat, explore, sun, and it's all for charity. So all PGA events are directed to charity. So today, this afternoon, we will post that interview. Check out Ken. Ken's had an amazing career. He worked with Jack Nicklaus, that's when I met him, because I was working with Coach Shula, and we put the two of them in the room. Now just imagine me and him standing there watching Jack and Coach doing their thing, which was insane. So it's a great interview. There are still tickets available for the Bear Trap, which we will be in.
We'll be there Friday. I'm excited.
And hospitality.
Excited for the Honda Classic. Excited to be around a bunch of people and get to see some golf and have a great time and network. And I know we will run into people that we haven't seen in a long time. I love Lori's comment of she walks through her facility every day, keeps me close to the mission and the people. It's what it's about. It's about being where the work gets done, no matter how high up you are in the organization. If you don't see what's happening, then there's no way for you to really know and be able to verify everything that's happening. It's what I talk about in my coaching sessions with the leaders all the time. But before we go any further, I do want to talk about one more thing and give a huge shout out to the Huddle, because we gave another nudge last week about the American Heart Association drive that we've got going, and there was big movement. Right now, big movement doesn't mean that everybody who was here got involved. We are still waiting to have 100% participation from the Huddle in this drive, but there was big movement done. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that got involved yesterday, scanned the QR code, went and donated. We're following up with some people that have not listed which gifts they wanted, but we're almost there. So with our final week in February, Monday being the 28th, which is the last day of the month, want to continue to push. So if you have not gotten involved yet, now is your opportunity to either scan the QR code and donate or reach out to Shay. He'll allow you to share it with your audience so that you get the opportunity to be a part of it as well.
And we will have that live drawing on Wednesday when you'll see it's random. It'll happen right there. Anybody who has a ticket and has directed their money towards one of those prizes, that is giveaway day. So I'm super excited. I hope I win something. I'm in it to win it. So, and
Mr. AK himself joins us on Thursday.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
That's right. We'll have AK on Thursday so that we will close out this drive with a great push, and he'll get to share his story about why he's so heavily involved with the organization. So we're going to move to the next part of the show. We're going to do motivational morning music. And when we come back, we're going to talk about environments, and we're going to talk about something that I learned about that was an aha moment for me when I heard it put so plainly. But I want to give a shout out to that city environment that I was in yesterday. I walked into the store before the store opened. There was music playing. People were clapping. They were ready to go to do the dance for the day. So your environment matters, and we're going to talk about those environments when we come back. But before that, we're going to do motivational morning music.
Now your people need to get high. Everybody needs a little sunshine from a blood red sky, 'cause that's just what they want. We know this color coding can't be right, when the only truth is we don't sleep at night. Can it feel real? We're just trying to beat the system, but it's hard from a distance. We keep falling from the system, so it's time for a new better way. We're just trying to beat the system, but it's hard from a distance. We keep falling from the system, so it's time for a new better way. We're just trying to beat the system, but it's hard from a distance. We keep falling from the system, so it's time for a new better way.
Gotta love Seal.
So, Jake was putting out the Huddle yesterday. I heard that. Then when I got in the car to drive south, I just said, Siri, play, Seal.
Yeah.
And the whole ride down, one after another, the guy just, it's so great. Sometimes you don't remember.
That album in particular, System, was so good. Right Life was on there. There were so many great songs.
But the words of that, we're looking for a new, better way. It's here. And the new, better way is here.
And so I want to talk about because it talks about the system in that song, and the system is really the environment that you got in. Now, how did I find these things called the growth rings? How did I get there? I have to give a shout out to Will Clofcorn, because I connected with Will on LinkedIn because just the way we do, content had brought us together, connection request, back and forth, bang, virtual coffee. That introduces me to his company, the Excel Institute. Excel Institute leads me to Bill Ekstrom, who's the CEO and founder of the Institute. That then leads me to his TED Talk, which happened to have happened at the University of Nevada, which I thought was very cool. I was like, oh, I was there right around the time that he did this talk. I'm sorry that I missed it. But that then led me to some new learnings. And what it talks about is the importance of the environment on our development. And he categorizes environments into 4 very simple, different environments. The first one being stagnation. And you would relate stagnation to the government, meaning tons of rules, tons of minutia, tons of permission-based, behaviors, hard to get anything done, stifles growth.
To validate that, the IRS still does every tax return manually.
Correct.
Unbelievable. It's like, what?
Think about the fact that we're still like carrying around vaccination cards and we don't have a QR code that we're scanning on our phone.
Crazy.
We see how slow government is to evolve and change. Stagnation. The opposite of stagnation, which would also be an environment that would be hard to grow in, is chaos. Chaos is unexpected inputs or unpredicted inputs with unexpected outcomes. You don't know what's happening. It could be natural disasters. It could be working for a boss that changes everything as the wind moves, and you don't really know what's coming next. So there's no way for you to anticipate what's going to happen or what the expected outcomes are. That's chaos, almost impossible to grow within those environments. The next one, which you don't really grow in, but you have to have this foundation, is order. And order, to me, is system, it's routine, it's process, it's understanding exactly what I'm supposed to do, the expected inputs, and then the expected outputs. I know if I do these things, I will get these outcomes. The problem with...
And it's repeatable.
And it's repeatable. You do it day in, day out. The problem with order is order creates comfort, right? And if we're comfortable, nothing's really happening to us.
Well, that's where the comment, well, that's just the way we do it around here. That's where that comes from. So
correct.
Right.
So in order for you to be in a growth environment, you have to add something to that ordered environment to push you out of your comfort zone, which he defined it as complexity, right? But all complexity is changed order. So for me, I'm in the gym. I've got a routine. I do certain things. I do them at a certain speed. Part of that changed order is adding a little more weight, right? Adding a little bit more weight to that bar or whatever, or the dumbbell or whatever it is, gives me an unexpected, I don't know. I can't predict that I'm going to be able to do as many things as I could at that previous weight. And I want to comment at D. Robinson. Creative happens on the edge of chaos. Exactly, D. So in order for us to be on the edge of chaos, we have got to be in order and add that little bit of complexity.
Yeah, the whole thing is fascinating because, again, it's always incremental change. It's not going from I do this and then I'm doing that. It's always
correct.
Incrementally growing, moving, changing, subtle, not big ripples. It's just, hey, we're migrating, left or right. We're changing it up. That actually is more exciting. Wow, that was different. That was fun. I box a couple times a week, and the way that my workout is mixed up, I don't know what's coming, which part of it is fun for me. I can't get set in, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. He keeps throwing different shit at me, and it shows me how sometimes, like, I'm used to throwing the hook from a standing position. He goes, listen, you don't have to stand there. You can move to the right. You can move to the left. And so it's like all of a sudden I was out of my comfort zone.
Well, so and Leslie Gusky says, and follow your DMOs. The DMOs are there to create the routine, to create the order. But if you stick to the DMOs and do exactly the same for a decade, you're never going to grow. Eventually, you're going to plateau in those DMOs and you're going to reach a certain amount. You're going to have to do something to switch it up. You're going to have to do more of them. You're going to have to add another step to them. You're going to have to find a way to change that order just a little bit to make you uncomfortable and get you into a growth environment again.
So the other side of that is if you're doing something that's not working, like cold calling, doing more of it is not going to help. So it's like, what we did 50, let's do 100. It does not increase your chances of success. That's where analyzing the behavior, what's working, what's not working, shifting and going. And you said this yesterday. Hey, why don't we try it? There was something that you brought up, and that environment that City has is like, all right, yeah, let's try that. Those are the most powerful words because you don't know until you try it. Just like in football, you call a play and it was a dud. You go, well, we might not do that again, but we wouldn't know until we did it.
And in order to do that, you have to have a system and a process in place because there's such a well-working system within the store. We were able to have an idea, get the idea communicated to everybody, set expectations for what we wanted, and watch it happen legitimately in 5 minutes. I mean, we had the idea, we round tabled it real quick. What's the best way for us to go about it? Great. We like the plan, move it, communicate it to the team, watch the team execute it. It happened in real time. Without the ability without the system in place, you can't do that. You have no way to get it communicated, to get it tested. And so that's where, if you're not living in a routine, you don't have a morning routine, then you're living in chaos. You can't expect to be in a growth environment when you haven't developed the routines of your day and how you do things in order for you to then add some complexity to what you do on a daily basis.
I'm really hopeful that you get a little bit more excited about the work. Like you just put a little bit more emotion into it, feeling a little dull, feeling like, you have no passion for it. So
it's all about getting better.
Maybe we can work on that together.
So I want to make this point that it's our responsibility to create the ordered environments for ourselves. I've worked in a lot of environments with crazy leaders, dudes that were completely off their rocker. I built my own routines within those environments. I took as much control as I could to develop the right system for myself in there in order to create some order, then to be able to grow from it and try to change it.
I'll leave you with this. None of it works unless you have somebody to be accountable to it.
Exactly.
Does not happen in a bubble. Does not happen alone.
I love it. Fantastic. So have a great Tuesday. I'm looking forward to Thursday's show. I know there'll be some Wisdom Wednesday tomorrow. Let's get after it. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this.